Stereo students here. Welcome to my first ever video. Please be kind and offer any helpful advice. I'm just a new creator, don't really know what I'm doing, so anything would help me greatly. Thank you. This video is about my thoughts and impressions on the new Star Wars Battlefront collection, so let's take a look. So first of all, I'll basically tell you my experience with playing Battlefield as a child. I had the original Xbox when pretty much none of my friends had it. I used to play Battlefront 2 in a tiny cupboard at my dad's house for hours and hours and hours. The cupboard would be 1,000,000 degrees because I'd be absolutely sweating it up all day, playing against computer AI, having the time of my life. Spent many hours doing that, playing the story mode. After that, unfortunately, Star Wars Battlefront 3 never actually came to any light of day. I think it was cancelled, 95% done, or 99% done. I'm pretty sure there's gameplay out there showing pretty much a full game. Unfortunately, it never actually came out. However, back in 2015, when I was at university, EA made a Star Wars game, and I was absolutely insanely excited for it. I just could not wait to play it. When it finally came out, I bought it day one. However, the first thing I noticed was there wasn't that many maps. The maps that they had in the game there wasn't that many. Every time you played a game, you played the same 3 or 4 maps. It just didn't feel like there was that much content compared to the older versions. One thing I also hated about Star Wars Battlefront 2015 was the way the items were delivered. Hero pickups, starships, just you picked them up randomly on the field. It really didn't feel like you achieved it or you deserved it. It was just random of being in the right place at the right time. And it just didn't feel that good. And that's one thing I really hated about that game. Star Wars Battlefront also got a number of DLCs later down the line. However, I was a university student at the time, so I literally could not afford any of these DLCs. And if I remember correct, they were quite highly priced for the content you received as well. So I didn't touch these, unfortunately. A couple years later, Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out. And this was more to my liking, I'd say. I remember playing the open beta and it was very compelling. I really enjoyed it. However, there was one thing that was glaring out at everyone. It was the star cards and the fact that you could buy them basically, and you could basically power up your characters for some money. Classic EA. However, after enormous backlash online, EA finally took this out, changed the game. You could upgrade your star cards via playing the game, and that's how you upgraded them. I won't lie though, I absolutely love this game. This is one of my favourite games to play. I still go back to it every so often. However, the player base isn't what it was before. But you can still get a game mostly at the weekends and during certain times. However, if you're playing outside of those certain times, it is difficult. And some of the game modes that you in the game are dead, unfortunately. As Ewok Hunt, I'm pretty sure that's DOA. And then, absolute silence for a number of years now. No hope of Star Wars Battlefront 3, the cursed number 3 Star Wars Battlefront game. This remaster collection drops in the stores, ready to pre-order for £28. My excitement knows no bounds in terms of this. What were my expectations going into this game? It's hard to really say. It was, I think my nostalgia glasses were really glued onto my head at this point, and I couldn't really see anything else than other being insanely excited for this. I could not wait to play it. I pre-ordered it day one it dropped. I did try to keep my expectations in check just because I knew it wasn't a full remaster, it was more just upscaling, and I know there was some AI upscaling, so I tried to keep all of my emotions in check. Try not let my nostalgia take over and ruin this for myself. Finally, release day. I have a quick look online just a couple hours before I can play it. It doesn't look good. People furious at the game. They only put up 3 servers when the game launched. A multiplayer game. How could you possibly put up 3 servers for a game that's been downloaded and played by thousands and thousands of people? How does someone think that when a multiplayer game launches that 3 servers that can hold 64 people will be able to satisfy and handle the capacity that's expected at launch date for a game like Star Wars Battlefront? After seeing the negative press online for the game, my expectations were kind of a bit lower at this point, and my excitement died down a little bit just because I was seeing people complain about the server issues, bugs, glitches, just general issues with connectivity and ping, and just very general issues, which was quite frustrating and disheartening. And then finally I get to sit down with the game after putting my child to bed, having some food, and spend some time with a significant other. What did I think of the game? Here we go. Let's get into it. Sorry for that. That's immediately my reaction after playing Battlefront Online. The servers are probably the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. The servers, the hit detection, just general lagginess. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel responsive. You're shooting at enemies and it just doesn't feel like you can hit them. It feels like your bullets are going all over the place. It just doesn't feel good. First up, I'll talk about the graphics. The graphics are what I expected, to be honest. It's just been upscaled. It's nothing special. I have a weird thing with things that have been upscaled. They always look a bit bizarre because the graphics are about 20 years old normally, 15 years old. And when they've been AI upscaled, they always have this weird look about them. They look like they've just been polished really, really hard, but don't look that good, but have just been really, really polished. And it always leaves a bit of a bad taste in my mouth, but nonetheless, it's what I expected, to be honest. Next up is sound. What can you really say apart from it's a Star Wars game? You can't really go wrong with the sound. It's got Star Wars music, it's got Star Wars laser sounds, it's got lightsaber noises. There's nothing really you can do to go wrong with this. It's a home run, basically. I think my biggest gripe so far with the game is the fact that matches last literally about 2 minutes long, which is quite a coincidence for me because, sorry, I'll just forget that, it's a bad joke. The biggest problem about the 2 minute matches is the fact that it takes about 15 seconds to respawn. So if you die, which you will die a lot because of how much of a mess the servers are, you're waiting 15 seconds every single time. So you're probably only getting about 3 or 4 lives per game. So it's not that great. Overall, I'm quite disappointed how it's been handled, the whole multiplayer aspect of this collection, just because I feel like there could have been some changes of life that could have really benefited the game in a good way. Maybe a sort of ranking system, leveling up system, any sort of just being able to level up or do something. And even, I forgot to mention this really important point, is the fact that you can't squad up with your friends. There's no way to join a squad, join the same match. And then even if you do manage to join the same match, you have to hope that there's space on the other team, the same team as your friend, so you can actually play together. Otherwise, you won't be able to play together, which is a massive problem for a multiplayer game. How do you do this? The thing that worries me most is I don't know how supported this game is going to be. It feels like it could either get a lot of support or pretty much maybe one update, fix the game, fix the servers, and that's probably it, which is probably the most likely option, I think. It's probably going to get one small update, couple updates just to fix the server issues, and then the game will probably just be left. And then maybe in 4 or 5 months, 6 months, the game will be dead. And that's just the way I think it's going to go, unfortunately. Which is sad in the long run of things, but I don't really see it playing out any other way, unfortunately. Now I'll speak about what I think is the future of the Battlefront franchise. I don't really know, to be honest. I feel like this could be a nail in the coffin for the franchise if it gets left to die, basically. If it doesn't sell well, I don't know how well this game sold, but obviously due to the bad press, it's probably hurt a lot of expectations, and a lot of people probably cancelled pre-orders and not picked the game up due to all these issues. So I don't really know where we go in terms of the whole Battlefront franchise, which is a shame because we never actually seem to be able to get past the second Battlefront game. It's like every single Steam Valve game, there's never a third version of it. We just can't get past that second game, which is sad because I love these Battlefront games. I've spent many, many hours playing Battlefront, playing as Jedi, playing as Boba Fett, Jango Fett, and it's even the EA Battlefront 2. That was one of my favourite games of the last generation. I loved that game, played it all the time, put days and days and days and days into it, and sadly I just do not know where the franchise is going. Anyway, this is my very first video. I've done this all on my iPhone in an app. So please bear with me while I figure out how to do this YouTube thing while being a dad, working full time. If for some reason you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe, like the video, and I think ring the bell. I don't know what that does. I think it maybe notifies you when you upload a video. I promise I will get better at this. Every day is a learning day, and I'm not even trying to get famous off this. I'm just trying to make some friends, build a community, hopefully do some fun videos. I've also started streaming on YouTube Live and Twitch. Feel free to jump in whenever I'm on, say hi, even jump in the game, play a game with me. This is Stereo Students. Until next time, bye.